Good afternoon, everybody. Greg here, back from the flood from yesterday. Here where I live in South Florida it was a little disaster, but we're getting by it. So, semiconductors are still the driving force behind these markets, and AVGO gapping up the other day from a base. And when you see gaps, this is a significant gap, the size of the gap, of course. It's going to take some time to digest this. But when they gap from a base of several months long, even though it's extended in the short term, it suggests, based on historical patterns, that it's going to go higher. So we'll see if there's backs and fills and what it does, of course. Looking at the index, which I'll find here in a second. There we go, SMH. And similarly, this looks more like the main driving force of the semiconductor index, NVIDIA, where it was going sideways, it broke down, it recovered and started another advance, and it's just hanging up here, a little extended. Major support is way down here. It's got this consolidation of support, this unfilled gap, and just today's going nowhere. Generally everywhere, whatever index you look at, things are going nowhere. And most Fridays in the recent past have been like that, going nowhere, other than, I guess, last week where there was, that significant move on a Friday. But generally, these Fridays have just been choppy, just like this 5-minute chart here, just flip-flopping back and forth. We are getting a wide range bar on the weekly time frame. I'm not sure yet. I mean, it's not a monster wide range bar, but our idea or concept of a wide range bar after a move often puts you in an area where momentum is going to slow down. So we'll see how that unfolds. On the daily chart, the momentum was already slowing down, as defined by narrow ranges and narrow candle bodies. However, it hasn't even broken or closed below a prior day's low. So slowing momentum doesn't mean it has to go down, but the odds have increased of that, but we need to see some confirmation. Close under a prior day's low. That's not happening. Some weakness in the sector. This one's broken down. This one broken down a little bit. We'll see if it follows through. Another one, breakout failure. So kinks in the armor, so to speak. This one don't look too bad. Extended. A little extended down. So nothing terrible going on here. What's doing well, the AVGO, of course. NVIDIA continues to grind higher. It's not giving anything back. And a few others that I'm just flipping through here. AMAT is a strong one. It's not doing much of anything. LRCX, Intel, just the junk, right? It's Intel. For so many years, this was the blue chip go-to semiconductor, and they're certainly behind everybody else, because that close under 30, and it looks like it could go even lower. So we'll see what that does. Looking around the markets, IWM, gap up, down 3 days in a row. It was the darling on these days when the market was going up, probably, in retrospect, probably just short covering, and now back down again, opening up the door down to the 200 MA. And we'll see how that follows through. It's closed under, it will close under the 200 mark. It looks like today, so we'll see if that follows through. Qs, just hanging up there, going nowhere, slop. 5-minute chart with overlapping bars, wide bars, up and down, break the low, back up again. Maybe it makes a little bit of an advance in the latter part of the day. We'll see how that shapes up. What's strong? Adobe gapped up today. That's a big gap, and that's from a downward move. I want to share another one with you, because these ones that come from downward moves, where they appear to be the start of something, and it could be. But look at Target. It gapped down, and then it ran all the way back up. There's a wide range bar ending. Now, ending didn't mean it's going to come down here, but it's into an unfilled gap. The continuation toward the 50 maybe was possible, but it wasn't going to move the way it was. And now it's all the way back down to the lows, and it's got a weekly chart that looks like it's going to go lower. Well, this Costco looks great still. Walmart, I think this could be setting up to continue higher next week, pulling back to the 20 MA. What else is doing well? Hasbro. This is a kind of a beaten down company. You can see the weekly chart coming off of the low as it has, but it looks like it's making a turn where it broke down. And now you got a red bar ignored and it gapped up today. So it certainly looks like institutions are got this one back in favor, that can go higher. Now is coming up into a resistance area. We'll see if this does next week. Netflix breaking out. Looks higher. It's not all-time highs, but it looks like it's going up to the all-time high. There you see the weekly chart over there, around $700. That's a bottoming stock. What else? What are financials doing? They're holding up here today. They're on this support area that I've got marked out. I can't drag this over, but you know what I'm trying to do here. Drag it over there, show that pivot low there, looking over to the left. Some others, whether they look bad or good. Well, let's look at some bad ones. Wow, that definitely looks lower. I'm just seeing that for the first time. I'm going to share that with the room. That one moving lower. And Wall State going down. There's some pretty bad looking ones there. Some good looking ones. I just sorted by weekly percent change or daily percent change on the day. Just an up day, just an up day. So we see the strength ones are just up days after breakdowns. JP Morgan, if these was to get a bearish 180, we'd be looking for this to go lower. It's holding here today. Goldman Sachs, it's on the 50, a turnaround day. ICE Exchange, not bad. Interest rates, it certainly look like they're going to go lower, but it's just been, they look like they're going to go higher. Breakdown, though they're going to go lower. Nope, they're going up, back down again. So they're all over the place there. Dow, just so many messy charts. And, when you hear, the S&P, new all-time high, NASDAQ, new all-time high, and you start looking around maybe at your own portfolio and saying, hey, where's my money? And, you start looking through these charts of different indices that are either going down or going nowhere, and you begin to understand that under the hood, it's not healthy. Yet, the semiconductors and some tech stocks are driving the markets higher, and, at some point they're going to start to pull back, but not happening yet. Biotechs, just overlapping bars there as well. Just look at this one. KRE looks like it's going to break down. You can see the weekly chart, but so far holding major support. It looks like it'll be another boring Friday. We'll come in next week. We'll see how it goes. Wednesday, the markets are closed for holiday. But as always, if you have questions, email us, Greg and Dan at Master Trader.